Hello to everyone watching, if there is anyone watching. Seems like YouTube is having a little trouble today. Couldn't get the stream going quite a way. You may hear me. There you go. You might hear me in the background because I have the monitor on just to make sure the stream is working. All right. Okay, there we go. I'm going to turn that off. Okay, let's try this again. Welcome to Cosmic Readings and Messages live for September 6, 2019. YouTube having a little bit of trouble, and I had to knock it off and then bring it back on. So we'll see how it goes this time. Since I do have the time today to do some live readings, it is 2:23 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on the East Coast of the United States. If you're watching somewhere else, we have a storm coming up the coast, so it's a little bit dark and dreary outside where I am. We're not expecting the hurricane, but it's cloudy and there's some wind and some rain around. Not a lot. I'm on the fringe area, as they say, so it's not going to be a big deal. Just sort of a gray, cool, drizzly day with some gusty winds. Anyway, Cosmic Readings and Messages is me telling you what the spirits and angels have coming through on the cards. I have the tarot deck. I have the angel cards here. And I do see Noelle in the chat room, so hello. I'll give a quick wave there. And if you have a question, or you want a specific thing answered, feel free to just type it in the chat room. I won't be typing in the chat room because I'm the only one here. There's no other moderator or anything like that. So I won't be typing. I'll be talking here on YouTube. Just a quick reiteration, that's all over my channel. I really don't do astrology. I only use the signs for categorization because everybody, of course, knows their sign. Or should at least. So it just makes it a whole lot easier to use the signs because that's what people know. But I really don't get into the whole astrology thing. My background is simply I have a good connection with the other side, the spirits, the angels. It's been for a very, very long time. I have crossed over to the other side several times, which I won't get into the gory details, but I knew I was coming back, and not really gory, but I won't go into the specific details. But I have crossed over and come back, and I knew why I was coming back, and it was medically proven and all that kind of stuff because I was in an ambulance and I was in a hospital and different times, not one after the other, but they happen for a reason. And every time afterwards, after each of those points, I have a stronger connection with the other side. So sometimes I just see and hear things, and I'll tell people what messages are coming through. But I do find that the cards help focus the message, especially if I'm talking to strangers or not quite sure like what direction or the message is leading me into. It's almost like that little extra voice, or I'll see something that doesn't make sense to me, and then somebody else says, oh yeah, that makes total sense to me because the message was for them. So anyway, that's what this channel is all about. This is not my day job. I'm actually looking for a day job, so doing some part-time work, but I am looking for full-time, and I need that as soon as possible. So I do readings for myself, which tend to be fairly positive, and hopefully they will all come true. But anyway, so Noelle is in the chat room there, looking for a general reading. So the way that I do this is I don't do the conventional spreads or cutting of the decks and all that kind of stuff like some people do. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But I find for myself, and that's what's most important, is I just shuffle the decks, ask the question. I do separate the tarot cards into the major and the minor, and I pull major ones for the big message, the most important message, and the minor is sort of the filler. It gives more of a detail, which I may pull several. And then I have the Angel Oracle cards here, messages from your angels, which also tend to be very, very good at giving a message. I also use the colors in the pictures and also the pictures themselves, what they are, to help give the message too, which may or may not actually go along with the traditional meaning that the cards have. So sometimes it's just the picture itself. I look at it, and when I see it, it's like, okay, that is the message in itself. So so that's where the intuitive part comes in, because it tends to work out that way. All right. So for Noel, after all that babbling and getting all the important stuff out of the way, and by the way, if you have any specific troubles or issues, you should seek professional help, as they say. Tarot readings and messages from beyond and all that should be taken with a grain of salt. I do take it with a grain of salt, but I can't deny some of the concrete and positive response that I get from doing readings, and also I can't deny coincidences when they happen way too often. So anyway, general reading for Noel in the chat room. So I'm going to start off with the angel cards here, which I have right here next to me. I will shuffle them just a little bit. And spirits, angels, and the universe, please come forward for Noel in the chat room, wanting to know, just in general, what is her current message, Noel's message, just in general for right now, maybe going for the next couple of days. What does she need to know? All right, the cards are acting what I call sticky and weird, which means to me that there's a strong message trying to come forward. Sometimes the cards are just loosey-goosey and they just sort of fly around and I can shuffle them and they're really, really smooth. And then other times it's like they've locked up and I can't really get them to move, and then something comes flying out. So that's what's happening right now, is they're acting very, very strange. So I think there is a message trying to come through. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep trying to go through these, and whatever message comes out, comes out. All right. And I'm also a very horrible shuffler, so. All right. Okay. This is the card that just flipped out. You got the Sonia card, and that looks like this. And Sonia says, I bring you a message from your deceased loved one. I'm happy, at peace, and I love you very much. Please don't worry about me. So this is a message from the other side. So if you've been having a dream about somebody on the other side, I'm seeing if I'm getting a message here of like a parent, grandparent, sibling, friend. I'm getting grandparent, and I'm also getting friend. Just know that if you've been thinking about them or dreaming about them or whatever, they're happy, at peace, and they love you very much, and you shouldn't worry about them. Sometimes that has to do, and I'm not getting this at all, but sometimes that part of the message means you wished you were there when they crossed over, when they passed on, like in the hospital or at home or whatever, or if it was an accident, you wished you were there to see them. But I'm not really getting that. I'm just getting this is somebody on the other side. So that could be it. This message could also simply be somebody who just recently passed, and you're just thinking about them because it's so recent, and they just want to let you know that they're happy and at peace, and they do love you very much, and you shouldn't really worry about them because it was a peaceful crossing. So if that's what this is, that's what I'm getting here. I mean, it's nothing tragic or anything like that. Oh, I just looked over at the screen because it's over on another monitor screen. So it could be your great grandmother, great grandma. Yep. Um, yeah, like I said, I wasn't picking up anything tragic or um, too much sorrow or anything. So great grandma passed away. So that's somebody who's obviously probably lived a good life, um, and it was just their time. Um, that like I said, I'm not picking up anything unusual. Um, Not like there was a um, anything not said or you wish this or you were there or whatever. Yeah, I'm not picking up anything like that. So, so that's just a very very nice message. They just want you to know. Um, I'm going to go ahead and pull a major arcana card to see if there is anything else in general for Noel in the chat room. Beside that nice message from the other side. Okay, here's the card that flipped out. You got strength. And I don't think this has anything to do with the other side or in there or anything like that. I think this is just a message for you. And the strength card, it can mean, you have strength, inner strength, self-love, unconditional type love, self-respect, courage, having a lot of courage there, holding open the mountain, the mouth of the lion there. Again, this is just in general, so this may be just a message that you're going to need to be courageous, or I'm being told, yeah, I need to pull a minor arcana card because that's going to give me the clue as to why that strength card is there. Just that weird feeling. Something is like telling me I got to pull a minor card to explain why that strength card is there. Because it is a good card. Yeah, it's talking about self-respect. That's sort of sticking in my head here. And courage. Those are the two big things that are really coming through. Could also be pointing to justice, even though it's not the justice card. Let me go ahead and pull a minor card and see what comes out. Okay. So the Five of Wands has popped. The Five of Wands. Now the fives themselves are talking about change. In general, the five, any of the five cards. The Five of Wands is talking about maybe some disagreements, some conflict, competition. I mean, you look at the picture, it looks like a little bit of a battle there. Let's see, I'm getting some glare here. There we go. But I'm not thinking this is anything really big. So maybe this has something to do with work or a little conflict in the family. Maybe it has something to do with great grandma there, with wills or something like that. But I don't think so. I think this is just in general. There may be some family conflict, and you need to be the courageous one. If this has to do with work, same thing. There could be some conflict there. You know what? I'm not even going to say conflict. It's just a little bit of competition. That's what it is. Not so much conflict, but competition. Like maybe something's going on where several people are trying to move up in the company, or something as simple as that. Like just some silly things. Like maybe there's a promotional period or something like that. but I'm not getting anything like really strong on this. So I mean, I think it's just kind of petty type stuff. Um, just this minor conflict, this minor uh, competition, and you are going to be the courageous one. Maybe the leader, too. Maybe you're going to help somebody else with a competition or a challenge of some kind. You're going to be the one to tell them. And I think this is like coming up. I don't think this is like right now. I'm getting this as more like a future type thing, like near future. You're going to be called to be the courageous one. You're going to be respected for it, too, for helping someone or being on top of whatever this little conflict is. So that's pretty much all I'm getting. I'm not getting anything really earth-shattering or really important. You know, this is something that's not super duper important. I'm going to pull one more angel card. See if the angels have another message beside from the other side there. What other message do we have for Noel from the angels? And maybe that'll give some clarity to those two other cards. Okay. The Oceania card didn't really fly out. It just sort of slipped out and landed on my lap. Which is, you know, usually really important stuff comes flying out or whatever. This card just sort of slipped out and fell. So I'm thinking it's not that important. But it does say to take action, you're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So again, that's tied into this little competition. You're going to be the one taking some action. You're in touch with the truth in this situation. So something is coming up, and that's what I'm getting. I'm getting it's either just started or coming up. This is future, like maybe over the next couple of days or weeks. You need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. You're going to have the courage and strength to do that. Interesting. That's basically what I'm getting. And it is kind of nice that you got that nice message from the other side. So, there you go, Noel, for a general reading. I hope that resonated. Again, nothing seemed to be like really jumping out at me. I'm not getting anything really strong that's saying, do this, do that, or, you know, I'm not seeing anything really super duper important. This is all like little minor type stuff. That keeps coming into my head, and that's why I keep saying it over and over again. Like, this is not earth-shattering. This is not life-changing. This is like silly things that, you know, we do, and we just get through it, and you're going to have the courage, you're going to trust your gut, and this little whatever this is not really a big deal. Now, if you're planning on moving, or if there is something big that's coming up, and only you know about that because it's for you, maybe this has more of a meaning to you. But again, I don't think it's like the end of the world or a major change. It's not like a tower or a death card or, you know, sudden change or imminent romance or anything like that. This is all like really petty, simple stuff. I know I've said that before because that's all I'm really getting. So I just saw, and you're writing in the chat room that you're planning on moving. And remember, there is a sort of a time delay. So by the time you hear me say this, I've seen it a few minutes ago. So I just glance over at the monitor over there just to make sure the stream is still working. And so if you're planning on moving, maybe that's what this has something to do with. And I think everything's just going to be fine. So maybe there's going to be, maybe with the move, maybe that's what this is, a little bit of conflict or not competition, but maybe there's going to be a little bit of a struggle of some kind. Maybe there's going to be some delay or something. I don't know. But it's not going to be a really big deal. You're just going to get through it. And you're going to have the strength and the courage and people are going to respect you. So, you know, again, I don't think this is a really, really big deal. I keep saying that because that's the message that's coming through, that this reading was not a big deal. So there you go. Um, and yeah, and that nice message from the other side. I always like when that card comes up, and it does have a specific meaning because um, the other side is very peaceful. I can attest to that. And they do, and I say they, but I'm talking about people and pets on the other side. To me, they are still there, and they do try to get in touch with us in different ways. So it's nice when that card comes through because it's like a confirmation, and if you can figure out who it is, and it makes total sense, then that's even better because that means that that person has made a nice connection with this side in various ways. And that's what these messages are all about. It's all about energy from all around us. We can call it whatever we want, but it's part of the universe, and we're part of that universe too. So it has nothing to do with religion or belief or anything like that. It's energy, and that's how I see it, and that's how the messages come through. They're trying to get in touch with us for specific reasons, and so it doesn't matter if you're a believer or a not believer in any type of religion or anything like that. It all has to do with energy and stuff like that. All right. So, a little bit of a long reading there, but I wanted to see if there was anything more, but I wasn't getting anything more. Now, sometimes I like to do a more broad reading, especially if there's not a lot of people in the chat room or watching, just to fill in time until somebody comes in. And since this is going to be recorded and then you'll be able to watch it later, I'm going to go ahead and ask this question. If you go back to the September 5th, the one from yesterday, go watch that video, especially toward the beginning where I'm talking. I asked a question about what message do the spirits and angels in the universe have for the United States of America? And then I also asked for one for the world in general. And I got two very interesting readings. The cards that came out actually did answer the question. And the way that they came across and the wording and what I picked up was appropriate for this period in time. So today, I'm going to ask this question, spirits, angels, and the universe. What message do you have for the United States of America? What would you like everyone to know? If there was some way to get the message out, which this is going to be recorded on YouTube, and who knows how many people are going to watch it. But what message do you have for the next year, from September 2019 to September 2020, for the United States of America? What angelic message would you like the people of this nation, the United States, to know in general for the next year? So from this period to the same time period next year. I know that's sort of a big, tall question and request, but I do believe the spirits and angels in the universe can come forward and give that message, because you see what's going on. You see how the world is and how our country is. And so, okay, the cards are acting locked up again. So that means there is an important message trying to come through. What message do you have for the United States of America for the next year? Okay, here's the card that flipped out. Now, you know, sometimes the universe and the angels come through and they're silly with me. they they give me a card. They give me a message that will make me giggle, and this one makes me giggle because I'm asking the question: what is the message the spirits, angels, the universe has for the United States for the next year? So this whole year, from this time this year to this time next year. And the Leela card popped. Leela. And just look at the look on her face. It's like that, just we're chilling out and thinking. And it says, spend time alone in nature, meditating about your desires and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. I mean, it's a nice message for any one person, but when you've got that message for an entire nation, it's basically saying, chill out, spend some time in nature, contemplate, meditate, ask the angels for help, help you gain a positive perspective. There is a lot of negativity in this nation. There really is. So, I mean, that card to come forward for a nation is kind of funny, and especially for the whole year. So yes, I would agree with that. I mean, thank you, spirits and angels in the universe, because yes, with all the stress and conflict and everything that's going on in the United States, that is a perfect message. It's almost like, yeah, you wish you could just go on TV and go on the radio and just tell everyone, spend time alone in nature, meditating about your dreams and intentions. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. And you know what? If you did that, even though it's a really good message, there'd be people complaining about it. There'd be people saying, no, I don't believe that. That's garbage. Who made that up? That's fake news, It's like, you just completely missed the point, So, yeah, kind of interesting. And I see Chris has popped into the chat room. Yes, go ahead, ask a question. Just type it in there. I'm actually doing a quick reading for the United States of America for the next year. And I'm going to go ahead and pull one more Major Arcana card now to go along with that Leela Angel card. Spirits and angels, the universe, please come forward to go along with the Leela card. What other message do you have for the entire United States of America? If you could get the message out to everyone, what message would you have from the Major Arcana cards for the nation? What card to go along with Leela? Additional message, or to confirm it, or give a little bit more information for the entire United States of America. What would you like this entire nation to know from the Major Arcana cards? And again, these cards are also acting a little strange, so I do think there is an important message coming through. Okay, this is interesting. It's the Devil card. Now, the Devil card doesn't mean the country is the devil. The Devil card is talking about some addictions and stuff like that. That's what the devil is about. It's definitely not the lovers, that's for sure. The Devil card is, you can be trapped. Also, it can point to greed and envy, obsessions, lust, stuff like that, which, that's a good message for the world. There's a lot of that stuff going on. But, this is, the question was, what is the message for the entire United States of America for the next year, September this year to September next year? Spend time in nature, meditating, talk to the angels, the spirits, the universe. Think about your intentions. And then they're also telling us to think about the devil. The greed, materialism, obsessions, addictions. There's a lot of that in various shapes and forms. And I think the message is get away from this stuff. Don't be chained to it. That's the whole point of the devil. You look at the picture, and this man and woman are chained to those things, material things, greed, lust, all that kind of stuff. And everyone is, and I won't say everyone, but many are just so wrapped up in tense and politically and in their own ideas, and everybody's just wound so tight that we got to think about Leela here. Spend time alone in nature, meditating about your dreams and intentions. And that intentions word is really sticking out in my head here. Ask the angels to help you gain a positive perspective. You need to get that positive perspective. Stop being chained to the devil. And intentions. What are your intentions? Are your intentions positive and good, or are your intentions wrapped up and tied to that devil? Tied up to the greed, tied up to the addictions, tied up to the negativity. So very, very interesting message from the universe and angels. So something to think about if you're in the United States. Good message for the entire nation. And I see Tarot TV with T is in the chat room. Seems familiar. I remember from yesterday. Anyway, getting back to Chris, who asked the question. Chris wants to know how can I get closer to my spiritual purpose. Yes, Tarot TV with T. Go ahead. You can just type in your question. I'll glance over there and see what your question is in just a moment. But for Chris, how can Chris get closer to their spiritual purpose? So, let's see. Let's go to the angel cards. Let's see what they have to say. So, for Chris, how can they get closer to their spiritual purpose? Spirits and angels, please come forward in the angel cards here. And what message do you have for Chris in the chat room? Okay, well, here's the card that flipped out. I love it when the angels are doing stuff like this. Makes you giggle because it's like, okay, so the question is, how do I get closer to my spiritual purpose? And the answer is, Adriana, I am leading you to the answer to your prayers. Please listen to and follow the steps I am communicating through your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. I mean, there's your answer. Just pay attention to your intuition, thoughts, and dreams. You look at the picture. Your question is, how do you get closer to your spiritual purpose? And look at the picture. It's this angel that's leading the children. It's like, come with me. I'll lead you. Just pay attention. Come with me. So there you go. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, Let me see if there's another angelic message that goes along with that. Clarification or other information for Chris about getting closer to spiritual purpose. Come on, spirits and angels. What else do you have for Chris? I'm going to pull one more angel card, and then we'll get to... I'll get to Tarot TV with T. TTT. All right. All right. Well, here's the card that flipped out. And this is good, too. You got the Ray card. I mean, and look at that. It just looks like a spiritual card, doesn't it? Yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. Now, if you're not into yoga and exercise, this could be simply taking a walk in the park, which I'm going to do a little bit later, even though it's windy and could be drizzly and chilly outside with the storm that's passing by. But I'm going to do that because I need some time. But yeah, and I mean, the question actually says spiritual growth. So yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind, and spiritual growth right now. So, I mean, you talk about an answer to the question. There you go. I mean, it just they just come here. Just follow me. Do these things, and it will help your spiritual growth. I mean, that's what the question was about, and the answer is specifically for that. You can't make this stuff up. This is what I talk about when my friends that know me really, really well, and they're like, and my name is Bill, so they say, Bill, how many more coincidences do you have to experience before you say it's no longer a coincidence? Because I do tend to do that. I'm like, oh, another coincidence. Like, it's not a coincidence. You're in touch with the other side. I said this yesterday, and of course it's in my intro, but I'm actually a science person, and I'm looking for facts and evidence and that kind of stuff, and but I can't deny my own personal experiences and what has happened to me and what I experience, and they just come through like that. Just boom, there they are. And you got a direct answer, Chris, to your question. I mean, there you go. Just follow the leader, follow the angel. They're leading you to right where you want to be. You just got to pay attention. So simple as that. I'm looking over in the chat there. So if you're into meditation, perfect. I have done a little bit of meditation. I've done a little bit of guided meditation with some friends, and maybe I should do that here on YouTube at some point. Just do a live guided meditation with some soft music in the background. And I have led people to some very, very interesting places, and they got to see some people on the other side, and they got specific messages, which is really good. All right, so Tarot TV with T. Didn't mean to just abruptly end there, but thank you, Chris, for the question, and thank you, Spirits and Angels, for just coming right out and giving a blunt, straightforward answer on 2 cards. I mean, you could have gotten any card. You could have gotten something about schooling. You could have gotten something about that's more related to work or whatever. But, I mean, those 2 cards were just simply directly to your question. So, I mean, that's straight and to the point. Also, don't forget, I will throw this in, some shameless advertising. If you want to make a donation, there is the PayPal link down in the description for the channel, and I do welcome any donations because I did have to set all this equipment up, and I can do really cool things too. Like, for instance, for just a moment, I can add in these beautiful pictures that I take of the sky and clouds and stuff that are for scientific purposes and also for their beauty, and I can just do stuff like this, like switch it back and forth like that. Pretty cool, right? All right. So anyway, so yeah, I got all this stuff together, and I can also do some internet radio and stuff like that. So if you want to make a donation, go ahead and do that to the PayPal link down at the bottom. So for Tarot TV, Tarot TV with T, the question was, let me just scroll up a little bit here. Uh-oh, I think I just lost the channel. Always the way, I clicked the wrong thing because I have to reach over to this other computer, so we're still on. I just lost the monitor, so I can't see what's going on. So I'm going to pop back into the chat room. It's now reloading the page. So let me see, what was your question? Eric said he wanted to talk about our feelings and what page we are on today. What will he say? He started being sensitive after his birthday when I got home yesterday. So if I recall, you had a nice message yesterday, Tarot TV with T. So she wants to know, Tarot TV with T wants to know what page she's on with Eric. So let's see. I'm going to use an angel card. Shuffle them up a little bit. I'm a really horrible shuffler. You know what? One of these days I'll have to turn the camera so you can actually see how crazily I shuffle, but it works, right? Let's see. What's the message for Tarot TV and T about Eric? What angelic message? All right, the cards are acting locked up again. That means there's an important message trying to come forward. Okay. I like this card, especially if it comes out for like work or you're planning on something, but this could apply for T there, Tarot TV with T. You got the Aurora card. Just move that over here so you can see it. And you are flying high right now, which may threaten others, but don't descend because others will soon be inspired by your example. What I'm picking up here is everything's fine. And you're both going to be on the same... You know, your question had to be like, what page are you guys on? You're going to be on the same page. You're sort of like... you know what? I'm actually seeing... This is kind of funny because I'm actually seeing a book. You're on one page, and the name Eric is on the other page. So, like, you're right next to each other. And you're flying high right now, which may threaten others. I don't think the threaten thing here has anything to do with what your question. But don't descend because others will soon follow. It will soon become inspired by your example. I think, you know, you're going to be on the same page. That's what it is. Where you're at is where he's going to be at soon. It's like, you know, if you close the book, the two pages are touching each other, giving each other a nice hug or a smooch, you know. Is there any other angel card for Tarot TV with T to go along with that flying high Aurora card regarding Tarot TV with T and Eric? Oh, okay. These cards are acting very weird. All right, let me just try to shuffle them again, and let's see here. All right, well, I love this card too. This is another positive card. You got the Astara card, which says, you deserve the best. Reach for the stars with your dreams and desires and don't compromise. So I think it's pretty obvious what your dreams and intentions are. So just keep working on that, and everything's going to work out fine. I'm just going to go ahead and ask this. What is the outcome, Spirits and Angels, from the Major Arcana? What is the outcome for Tarot TV with T and Eric? What message would you like Tarot TV with T? Try to say that fast 10 times. Sally sells seashells at the seashore, right? It's kind of nice that they're also making me laugh and smile. So, you know, this is kind of self-therapy for me because I'm looking desperately for full-time work. And the Spirits and Angels have been there for me, even though I'm still looking and I've been getting positive messages. But it's nice to know that the messages that are coming through are good and they're resonating and they make me laugh because it's confirmation to me that they are still there and they're getting their messages through. Okay. So, the card that just flipped out. Now, this is interesting. This is very, very weird. And I'm not kidding because I just said what card from the Major Arcana. So I was shuffling only the Major Arcana cards. I kid you not. Here's the deck. See how thin it is? It's only the Major Arcana cards. Like there's... actually, what wound up on the bottom of the deck is the Lovers. So take that for what it's worth. But the card that flipped out should not have been in there. You got the one card from the Minor Arcana that wound up in by accident, because I separate these cards. You got the one Minor Arcana card that wound up in the Major Arcana cards. And you got the Two of Cups. I mean, not the Two of Cups, the Knight of Cups. Now the knights I like to think of as messengers, and they usually come charging in on their horse. But in this case, it's just sort of waltzing in, as I like to say, that the Knight of Cups, just sort of casually rolling on in. And the Knight of Cups can usually represent like a prince or princess, charming, Prince Charming. Maybe that's Eric to you. That's what it sounds like. And it can also point to romance, obviously, and proposals. Now, it could also mean proposals like work type stuff, but I think in this case it could be a proposal for you know what. And it's interesting, that card was in the Major Arcana cards by accident, because I do separate them. And I actually, before I went online today, I checked to make sure that the minors were separated from the major cards. And they were. So something really weird happened. That minor card popped, and it was in with the major cards. These are the cards I'm going to show you. These are the cards of the Major Arcana that I was shuffling. I mean, these are all Major Arcana cards. I got the High Priestess, the Star, Lovers, Magician. I mean, it's all the major stuff. Somehow, that minor card got in there. And that's the one that popped out for you. And I don't think that's any mistake. That was on purpose. That was on purpose. Because I check these cards. Because I'm kind of big on keeping the major ones separate from the minor ones, because I use the major ones to give me the main message or the important thing, and then I use the minor cards for the filler. And so I'm always checking to make sure that I have them separated, so that when I ask the question and I'm going through the cards, I'm specifically looking for the major message or the minor message, And so I was going through the major cards, but, maybe that's your major message, because that's what I was looking for. Prince Charming has rolled in on you. Proposal. Aurora. Star, you deserve the best. Bingo. And then I flipped the deck over just to prove my point, and you had the Lover's card there at the bottom of the deck. And I know some readers, and I do it sometimes, just to say, like, well, let's see what's at the bottom of the deck, because that could be important too. And boom, you had the Lover's card just sitting right there. I just showed it a few moments ago. So there you go. Tarot TV with T. Looks like it's going to be T for 2. Right? T for 2. Tarot TV with T for 2. And I'm looking over at what you're typing, and yes, he can have you? Okay. So I think everything's going to work out fine. Maybe he's acting weird because he may be a little bit nervous about asking a certain question or something like that. So, something just to keep in mind. I mean, I think you talk about positivity. That was definitely a positive reading. And also kind of funny because that one card that should not have been there, and I did put it back in the minor, and I'm going to shuffle it in there into the minor deck here. All right, so that knight is now mixed in with the minor cards again. All right. Now, I don't see any other questions in there. It's 3:11, so I was going to be wrapping this up around 3:30. Although I did start a little bit late because there was a little technical problem with YouTube. But I asked the question for the Angels and Spirits just a little while ago for the United States, what message they had for the next year, from September this year to September next year. Now I'm going to ask the more worldly question. Spirits and Angels with the angel cards here. I'm going to shuffle them real quick. What angelic message do you have for the world for the next year? For September this year to September 2020. For the next year. What message do the spirits, angels, and the universe have if you could get the message out to everyone on the planet. And, who knows how many people are going to watch this video once it's recorded on this little channel. Probably only 25 or 30 or whatever. But if you could get the message out to the entire world, spirits and angels, what message would you have? What would you like the whole world, the whole planet, all of its inhabitants to know over the next year? Talk about a big loaded question. Loaded and bloated question. I'm really putting the spirits, angels, and the universe on this. Oh, and you know what? All the cards just went... all the cards just fell on the floor. Okay. It's, you know what? It's like the angels are just going, screw it, here's everything. All right. Giving me a laugh. All right. Let's see. Did any of these cards flip over? Because I don't do inverted upside down stuff. All right. Let me put the deck back together here. All right. Let's see. Let's see here. Spirits and angels, message for the whole world for the next year, September this year to September 2020. What would you like the whole world, all of its inhabitants, if you could get the message out to everyone, what would you like them to keep in mind? Or what message do you have? What advice for the world? Okay. Interesting. The Azure card popped. And this is some good advice. Your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. Now, for one person, hoping for something, this is good. But this is also good for everyone. We should all have patience and faith of some kind. Don't force things to happen. And your desired outcome will happen. Now, I'm asking the angels, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, in spirits, angels, the universe, if everyone just got more in touch with being positive and in touch with the universe and everything around them, and, had a little bit more patience and any kind of faith, and stop trying to force things to happen, because that's happening all over the world. There are people trying to force things to happen. Your desired outcome will happen if you do things the right way. I'm going to go ahead and pull another angel card for the world. What other message do you have for the world that goes with the Azure card there, either related to it or additional message for the world? If you could give the message to the entire world for the next year, what would it be? September this year to September next year. In our crazy world in this dimension, if you could give a message to everyone, what would it be? Spirits and angels, come forward. What would that be? And why do I do this? Because I like to think of the bigger picture. I like to think outside the box. I like to see things beyond, today or tomorrow. So that's why I'm asking this question. So what do you angels and spirits have as far as advice or a message for the world for the next year? And this card just flew onto the floor. What is it? It landed upside down. Oh, here we go. And this is another one of those cards where I take the literal name of the card as part of the message, and it's patience. Again, reiterating patience and faith. Now is the time to learn, study, and gather information. Enjoy being a student, because in the future you will synthesize your knowledge into action. Good advice, because students could be of anything. You learn something. You study things. Could be anything. You learn. You keep your mind open. Good advice for the whole world. Gather information and enjoy it, because in the future you will synthesize that knowledge into action. Again, what do you want to happen? You have to have knowledge. You can't just blindly try to make things happen and force things to happen. You need to learn. Good advice for the whole world. I kind of like how things can be related like that, and especially when certain words are the same on both cards. The name of this card here is patience, and this card here says have patience and faith. So they work together. And spirits and angels, everybody has free will. If the world has patience and faith, and don't try to force things to happen, and study and learn, work together, and take that knowledge, and then go into action, what would be the outcome after 1 year? I'm going to pull a major arcana card for the world. After this 1 year period, if they follow the advice of Azure and patience, what would be the outcome for the world? And these cards are acting locked up again. I wonder if a minor card accidentally got in there again. Let's see. Spirits, angels, universe, please come forward. What message you have for the world if they follow the advice, the message of Azure and patience? What is the major arcana card that will be the result? Alright, these cards are acting really, really locked up. So that means there's an important message trying to get out. And here's the card that popped. Well, the Lovers. Well, there'll be more love in the world, probably. That's for sure. Now, the Lovers card, definitely not the Death card or the Tower or anything like that. It's more of a happy card. The Lovers do talk about partnership and could also point to a choice, but it's also about the strength of two. And uniting. The Lovers, it is about love too, and the strength of love and two together. So, when I see something like this, I look at the picture. It's happiness on earth, and the question is about the world, and having patience and faith, and learning. And don't trying to force things to happen will make things so much more peaceful. You've got that angel up there in the sky looking over the two lovers. The sky is blue. It's beautiful. It's happy. They're not chained to anything. It's not like the devil card. We can all be in this together. All men, all women. That's the message I'm getting here. It's a very happy, peaceful card, and it's about love. It can also be, brotherly love, sisterly love, sisterly love. It could be harmony together. If people just did the right things and didn't dwell on forcing things to happen and just, de-stress and having patience and faith. Stop trying to force things to happen. And they will happen simply because everybody's working together, gathering knowledge, synthesizing that knowledge, and doing the right thing. And immediately when I see these cards, what comes to mind is all the protests and people being mean to each other. Saying nasty things to each other all over the world, and throwing things at each other, and finding ways to divide each other. That's not good. That doesn't help anyone. That's not working together. That's working against each other. And that's not finding the knowledge. That's not learning anything. That's just forcing your will on everyone else, forcing things to happen without thinking, without finding out the truth, without gaining knowledge. If you just did those things, and that was my question, what would be the outcome if people did those things? You'd have the Lovers. It could be a much happier world, right? And since this is a message to the spirits, angels, and the universe, that's what they want for us. That's what they're there for. That's why they give us these messages. That's why I can do this. This is why a lot of other people can too. Wow. And that's also, why I do this, even though I'm looking for, I'm looking for that knowledge. I'm looking for science and facts and all that kind of stuff. But I can't deny my own truth, my own connections. And I do this because I'm amazed at how these messages come through and how strong they can be and how they answer the questions. The spirits, the universe, the angels, whatever you want to call them, they're there. And they want things to be good here. They don't want us to be fighting. They don't want us to be against each other. Because, on the other side, and of course, I get this perspective too, because I've been there and back a couple of times. Our time is limited here. So why would you not want to make the best of it? Instead of constantly, trying to force everyone to do what you want or what you think without knowledge. There's a lot of that happening in the world. A lot of people are trying to make change and forcing change and making things happen without getting the facts, without learning. Everyone's ready to jump and make things happen ASAP yesterday without thinking, without finding out the truth. We hear those words, fake news. We hear, stories from around the world that have to be retracted because they're not true. Somebody gave wrong information because everyone else is not thinking. They're not doing what the universe wants us to do. That's what this message is. This message is saying, relax, chill out, patience and faith. Your desired outcomes, because we all want a better world, obviously, will occur in the very near future. If you do these things, you have to have patience and faith and don't try to force it to happen. And how do you get there? Learn, study, gather information. Enjoy it. Enjoy being the student. Because in the future, you will synthesize your knowledge into action. That's the message they want us to know. I asked for a message or advice. That's perfect advice. You do these things. You're the lovers. Everything comes out fine. So, there you go. Pretty cool when you think about it. All right, let me go back, look into the chat room. Doesn't look like anybody there. I'm going to get a little bit political now. Why not? I'll end this at 3:30 like I originally intended. I'm not going to ask for any particular person, but I will ask this question. Spirits, angels, and the universe. What message do you have? Now, this is for the United States of America. We have two major political parties. So, what is the message you have for the Republican Party? The classically conservative party, but the Republican Party. What message do you have we'll say for the next year, because we're coming up on a big election next year. What message do you have for the Republican Party of the United States for now and into the next year? What message do you have for the Republican Party in general? All right, the cards are locking up again. You know what that means. It means an important message is trying to come forth. What message do you have for the Republican Party of the United States of America? And my next question is going to be for the Democrats, but Republicans first. Okay. This is interesting. He got an Archangel, which, as far as I'm concerned with the angel cards, is kind of important. Archangel Uriel. So Republicans, I guess, the party needs to keep this in mind. Your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to a greater love. I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. Interesting. What other message from the major arcana, major cards, do you have for the Republican Party of the United States of America for the next year? To go with Archangel Uriel, what other message from the major arcana cards only do you have for the Republican Party? All right, these cards are also locking up, so there is an important message trying to come forth. That's how I see it. Oh, these cards are really acting weird. Okay. Justice. The Justice card. And usually when I see that card, immediately I think it's going to be justice for you. So this is for the Republican Party. There's going to be some justice. Something is going to turn in your favor. The Justice card, and not to be confused with the Judgment card, the Justice card. You know what I'm picking up? I'm picking up justice in your favor. Solutions, the truth coming out. So the message for the Republican Party is the truth is coming out. Now, this could be good or bad news, depending on if you've done something bad, the truth's going to come out. If you've done good stuff and the other party's done bad stuff, the truth is going to come out. But this is, I always see this as justice in your favor. So the truth is going to come out in your favor. Interesting. And this Uriel card here. Your emotions are healing, which enables you to open to a greater love. So if this is for the Republican Party, this could represent, I will help you release anger and unforgiveness from your heart and mind. So whatever's going on in the Republican Party, and I'm not a political operative or anything, justice is going to come in your favor. There's going to be some truth that comes forward in your favor. Release the anger. The angel's going to help you. Unforgiveness. Move forward. You'll be open to a greater love. Interesting. Message for the Republican Party of the United States. Now I'm going to ask the same question for the Democrat Party. The Democratic Party. Spirits and Angels, out of the angel cards, what message do you have for the Democratic Party of the United States of America for the next year, generally like now through fall next year, September? All right, the angel cards are again starting to lock up, so they're, like I keep saying, there's an important message trying to come out. Democratic Party. What message do you have for the Democratic Party for the next year? What advice or message do you have for the Democratic Party? All right, these cards are acting really weird, so let me just see what flies out. Okay. So, the Merlina card popped. Or Merlina. You are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. So, This is saying for the Democratic Party, I mean, it just plainly says, you are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. Do research or seek expert advice before making a decision. So, what the angels and spirits are saying to the Democratic Party is, you need to do some searching for some facts. I mean, that's what's coming through. There's facts that you're missing. You are confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. You need to do some research. Now, obviously, there's a whole lot of people that are going to be running for president or trying to run for president in that party. So that's a lot of indecision and confusion for the people too. Like, who do I vote for? So this is for the party. Remember, the question was not for people. This is for the Democratic Party. So, confused and indecisive because you do not have enough information. So you're missing information. You need to do some research. Seek expert advice before making a decision. Let's see if there's a major arcana card that goes along with that for the Democratic Party to go along with Merlina, or additional information, other advice for Merlina. What do you have from the major arcana to go to the Democratic Party of the United States? And the card that popped, wow, the Tower. The Tower. Confusion, indecisive, missing information that you need to seek expert advice. Tower. Abrupt change, possibly violent change. The Tower, and I always look at these dark cards. There's always light in the background, so it's not completely dark. You look in the background, the Tower falls, but there's light off in the distance. The Tower falls for a reason. It's built on a bad foundation. Or it's struck by lightning because it didn't have a lightning rod. It wasn't built right. So you build a new one that has a better foundation, has a lightning rod. So the Tower is talking about, this abrupt change, possibly violent change, upheaval. It could also represent, ruin, like something is being ruined. So, that's a message for the Democratic Party. You're going to have a tower crumbling. Could be in ruins. There's different ways to look at that. But I know there is the argument that there's many people that are running for president on that party platform. And there is a lot of confusion and indecisiveness. And the spirits and angels are just coming forward and saying, seek facts, get expert advice. And then they're throwing in this, the Tower. Something's going to be in ruins. And if it's the party that's going to be in ruins, that's something to keep in mind. That card popped for a reason. So that's something the Democratic Party needs to consider, to think about. Abrupt change, violent change. Bad foundation, need to rebuild. Maybe that's that's what the message is. Wrong information. I'm picking that up with these cards. The lack of proper information and indecisiveness, confusion, is what's leading to this Tower. The cause of that Tower. It's the bad foundation, the lack of a lightning rod. So that is something to think about for the Democratic Party. Whereas the Republican Party got a message of, picking up the pieces, kind of, and you can go back and play it. But it was much more clear. It was almost like, this is what you need to do. This message is more of, things are just falling apart. Indecision, being indecisive. Trouble. Upheaval. So, something to keep in mind. Some decisions will have to be made, and they better be made on expert advice and research. So, interesting. I when I see that Tower card and it's toward something big, that's when I worry, because you're dealing with a lot of people, and you're dealing with an entire party. So that's something to keep in mind. All right, it is 3:37 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time when this is recorded. So let's see. We got a couple of people that look like they have popped in, so I can stay on for just a few more minutes. So Liza is in the chat room. Hello. So I did some readings earlier for some people in the chat room, and I just did something for the world in the United States and the two political parties of the United States over the next year. So you can go back and play them back later. But if you have a question, go ahead. And I'm actually looking at in the chat room, because there's no moderator or anything like that. I'm just glancing over at the monitor. So yes, go ahead. You can ask your question. I've got the angel cards here. I've got the tarot cards here. So we can see if we can fit you in real quick. If there's another person, looks like another person just hopped in. I was going to end this about 8 minutes ago, but that's okay. I can stay a little bit longer. So go ahead, type in your question, and we'll pick it up from there. So, interesting messages for the United States over the next year, for the world for the next year, and also the two political parties of the United States over the next year. So, if you're watching live, when this is over, just go back and watch the recording if you're interested in politics and the world and countries and stuff like that, because I asked that question to the universe and I sort of got interesting answers. All right. So Lisa in the chat room says, how can you say, do I have a twin flame or a higher level soulmate? So we'll go to the angels on this, the angel cards. So Liza wants to know, does she have a twin flame or higher level soulmate? So what message do you have for Liza regarding higher level soulmate or twin flame? That seems to be the latest catchphrase, right? Twin flame. Everybody's, do I have a twin flame? It's like your soulmate. That's what they were always called, I mean, really, this twin flame thing is something new. And hello, Blossom 11. So let's see. So let's go back to Liza. Does Liza have a twin flame or higher level soulmate? What message do you have for Liza? Okay, these cards are acting kind of weird again. Let me just shuffle them right quick here. All right, here we go. When the cards get kind of flaky like this and they start locking up, my typical thought is there's an important message trying to come through. So this could be an important message trying to come through for Liza regarding a soulmate, higher level soulmate. All right, let's see. All right, so the card that popped, this is interesting. You got Isaiah. I'm going to do a confirmation card on this, because the Isaiah card says it's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. So this is talking about getting some new ideas and giving birth to new ideas and changing things up a little bit. So, hello, Puzzle of Life in the chat room. So, I mean, it's not answering your question. Again, the cards were acting kind of flaky. I'm going to throw this there because we'll take that as a message that they wanted you to know. But specifically, Spirits and Angels universe, Liza asked about a twin flame or a higher level soulmate. She's talking about love and romance. What message do you have for Liza regarding that part of the question? Okay. Sometimes it's really weird how these cards act, and I think we're getting a convoluted answer here. Because you got the Teresa card, or Teresa, and it's time out. You've been so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now is time to stop and take care of yourself. You know what? I think we do have an answer here. Time out. You are so busy taking care of everyone else's needs, but now it's time to stop and take care of yourself. You're asking about a soulmate, twin flame. You're asking for romance. That's taking care of yourself. If you've been very busy, and it could also be if you're so wrapped up in this idea of do you have a twin flame or a higher level soulmate, maybe you shouldn't be focusing so much on that. Take the time out and just take care of yourself. That could be as simple as just relax a little bit, and things will just happen. Now, that does match up with this card. You take your time out. It's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. And that word situation, is kind of a complex word. But I think that's the important thing here. Maybe your twin flame, your higher level soulmate, is going to be part of this change. The angel's watching over you and protecting you during these changes. So that's what I'm picking up here. So Liza, it's not a direct answer. Sometimes they give direct answers, which they did earlier with some of the other readings, but direct answers did come through. But this, I think, is sort of a convoluted answer. And I think you just need to chill out, relax, take care of yourself. And then I think the Mr. Right will come into your life, your twin flame. I'm going to pull one more angel card to clarify. Just to see if they have another message for you. Because, again, these cards are acting kind of weird today. Let's see. Another message for Liza regarding Twin Flame, regarding the two cards that already came forward. Okay. Well, this sort of does fit your question. You got the Seraphina card. This could be for you directly. I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. This could mean Mr. Right is coming soon. I mean, this could also mean a marriage. It could mean a birth in the family or something like that. But I'm thinking this is for you. And look at these two cards. The colors are both reddish. This is sort of a deep rusty red. This is sort of a pinkish, which reminds me of like Valentine's Day. So I'm getting this whole love vibe with these two cards. Without them actually coming out and saying it, I think your soulmate may be coming soon. You just need to relax, make some changes, time out for yourself. Don't worry about it so much. And it will just happen. Because you've got the angels watching over you. So I think that is your answer. Don't be so wrapped up in trying to find the soulmate. Just allow it to happen. And that last card there says, Angel of Families, Seraphina, happy change or addition is coming to your family. This could be the start of a relationship. So that's what I'm picking up from that. So there you go. And all right, I just read the what's in the chat room. You're going through a lot of unexplainable changes. Well, maybe that's you need to take that time out and just relax a little bit and take care of yourself and just let Mr. Right just march right on in. There you go. All right. Blossom 11 wants to know what's coming up for the next week. So in general for Blossom, we'll try to get these done really quick because it's now 3:47 here on the East Coast, almost 4 o'clock, and I was planning on ending this at 3:30, but that's okay. So Spirits, Angels, Blossom 11 in the chat room want to know what's coming up for the next week. Sort of general question. What does Blossom need to know for the next week? Blossom 11 in the chat room. Please come forward, Spirits, Angels, and the Universe. Angel card. What does Blossom need to know for the next week? What advice or message do you have? Okay. I apologize for that little delay there. I heard the phone ringing in the other room, so it sort of caught my attention. And it was a garbage phone call, but the bell ringing might mean that this is going to be an important message, like, ta-da, that kind of thing. So let's see, Blossom, what message is coming forth for the next week? What do the Spirits and Angels want you to know for the next week? What's important? Okay, well, you got one of my favorite cards, because I call this my card because this is my guardian angel, one of my guardian angels, Archangel Michael, who I also call the head honcho because he is the protector. He is the, historically like the leader of the angels. So this is very powerful energy. When this card pops, and he says, "I am with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose." There you go. Nice general message for you, Blossom. I'm going to pull one major arcana card for you. No, actually, I'm going to pull a minor. You don't get more major than Archangel Michael. So I'm going to pull a minor arcana card to see if there's any other information that needs to come through from the Spirits and Angels and the Universe. Please come through and give Blossom a message that she needs to know. And you've got the Ten of Pentacles. The 10 is the completion. That's the end of the suit. So you've reached the end. So it represents like wholeness. It's complete. And this talks about financial security. Pentacles themselves are usually material things and money and that kind of stuff. So everything financially should be okay, or soon will be. The Ten of Pentacles is you've got everything that you need. That's how I see it too. It's like you don't have to worry about anything. Could also be it could also represent retirement or an inheritance. Maybe you're going to come into some money, you're going to inherit or be given some money. But basically it's everything is good, it's okay. It's like the family is happy, everything is good. So that's all I'm getting here. I'm not getting anything like earth shattering, nothing super duper coming. It's just like everything is fine. You're going to be okay. And you were just asking for like what's going to happen over the next week. So everything is going to be fine. Money issues won't be an issue. And you've got Archangel Michael watching over you, so you can't get any better than that. Personally, I would love this reading for myself right now, but because I'm having some trouble. But very, very nice reading. It doesn't get any better than Archangel Michael. All right. I'm with you, giving you the courage to make life changes that will help you work on your divine life purpose. So, just keep pushing forward, and everything should be fine. You got Archangel Michael helping you out. He's protecting you. All right, let's see. Finally, I only got a couple of minutes. Puzzle of life. Financial success coming for me by doing this children program degree at my college. Okay, so is puzzle of life in a puzzle, or is Puzzle of Life on the right track? And will doing this children's program and degree lead to financial success? Spirits and angels, please come forward. What message do you have for Puzzle of Life regarding this degree that Puzzle of Life is working on? Will it lead to success? Well, you know what? You asked the financial question. You used that word. And you got this card that came out of the angel deck, angel oracle cards. You got Serena. I mean, you talk about a direct answer. This is, I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. So if you have faith in this program that you're in, it's going to lead to abundance. I mean, that is what that card is. Let me see. I'm going to pull a major arcana card to go along with the Serena card for Puzzle of Life. What advice do you have, or message do you have for Puzzle of Life regarding this program? Will it lead to abundance? Will it be successful? To go along with the Serena card? That's what the question is. So please come forward with the major arcana cards and let me know, let Puzzle of Life know what's going on. What is the message? Okay, here's the card that popped. I like this card. You got the Magician. The Magician, you know, you look at the picture, he's got the pentacle, he's got the sword, he's got the wand, he's got the cup. He's the mix master. He can take all of those different things and mix them up and make whatever he wants. He is the magician. Now, the magician, you know, the meaning itself for the magician is creativity, turning visions into reality, inspiration. So if you're taking a class, I mean, obviously you're going to have some inspiration. You want to do something. You can make it happen. You can make it happen. You're the visionary. Puzzle of Life. And it's going to lead to abundance because you've got Serena. Excuse me. You've got Serena here. And she's reminding you, even though she's the angel, you will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how that will happen. Have faith. So as long as you keep having faith, as long as you continue to do what you need to do, you can manifest it yourself. The money will come. The angel of abundance is right there for you. So, I mean, there you go. Puzzle of Life. That answers your question. You can be the magician. You're the mix master, as I like to call him. He can make things happen. He's got all the tools right there. He can mix them up and get them to do exactly what he wants, because he is the magician. And you, Puzzle of Life, you are the magician. There you go. Pretty cool stuff. All right. If you'd like to make a donation to the channel, just click on the PayPal link down there at the bottom. Do appreciate any donations to the channel. I'm taking the time out to do this kind of stuff, and I'm not asking for anything. I know others are. Go back and also check for your own sign, which again, I don't really do astrology, which I mention over and over on all of the readings and stuff. And I said it in the beginning of this. I don't really do astrology, but I use the signs for categorization. There's a reason for that. So just keep that in mind. But go back, check out the rest of the channel if you haven't done so already. Subscribe, like, link, all that kind of stuff. And let's see, it is 3:56, so I am going to wrap things up. If you're on the East Coast of the United States, hopefully your weather is improving as the storm moves away. If you're elsewhere, hope the weather is nice. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, it's getting to be springtime soon as you come out of the winter season. Here in the North, we're getting ready for fall. So with that, I thank everyone for watching, and come back to the channel again sometime. Thanks again.